my parked car to my office in Denver Public Schools. Today's question is courtesy of one of my absolute favorite people. Oh. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Ask Ben W., the video series where I get to tackle one question as I walk from my parked car to my office in Denver Public Schools. Today's question is courtesy of one of my favorite people. As you can see right next to me, my daughter, Isabel, is holding up a piece of art that she made at a makerspace at the Castlewood Library, which is part of the Arapahoe Library District. It was in a makerspace that they have set up. It used to be a conference room. Now it's a rather large makerspace with all kinds of really amazing things. And we actually used it during self-service time rather than full service time, where there is a librarian on duty and they are supporting the 3D printing and the all the different kinds of saws and what have you. So all of these, the things within her art, were readily available to us, and that we were able to just manipulate and to take apart and to put together into something that she was rather proud of. And it was the first time that I had been in a makerspace where we started from scratch, where there was no guidance or necessarily things that we wanted to accomplish, but rather that we were really just taking the materials and building from there. Now, I know that's like the purpose of most makerspaces, but in reality, many times, those makerspaces are not about free-form expression and things like that. You know, there are specific things that you're supposed to be doing, like 3D printing or those kinds of things. And I kept on coming back to throughout this time that this was a space of trying new things that had never been tried before and never been thought of from the perspective of this individual child. And so I don't know that I asked the question, but I actually kept on asking throughout the time that we were there, what is a makerspace for? Because I think many times I have said that, or thought, or really tried to develop the idea that makerspaces are for doing specific activities. They are for creating things that have a specific purpose. They are for, developing a prototype, or they are for, 3D printing something that you really want to see as a toy or a mass-produced piece of clothing, or like that they are essentially a place for well-intentioned play, let's say. And yet, what I was finding that was much more compelling, and I think it is shown in the art that Isabel created, is that it doesn't have to have a specific purpose in order to have an amazing outcome. And the makerspace within a library, within a school, really could be, and I think perhaps even should be, a space for unplanned and undefined play. And that the materials there should be able to be used, and there should be guidance there, but that the sort of open inquiry that can happen, that is the point. My son decided also to make a sculpture. It was we glued together a bunch of sticks to create a person, and then he wanted to edit a photograph. And so he edited a photograph that I found really compelling and quite interesting. It was a person's face and or a photograph of a boy's face. We removed the entire sort of inside of the face, left the hair, but then moved part of it down, and it was something that he had never done before, and with just a little bit of guidance was able to develop something that he was proud of. And he wanted to save it, and of course both Isabel and Tobias said, well, can you post this on Facebook? Sort of with this instinct of, I would like to get feedback on the work that I am doing from someone other than my father. And it is a very interesting place where the play that is happening is expanding what is possible, and then they have an expectation of feedback. They want something from this process that is, I would say, more compelling than simply, I would say, finding a specific tool and using it for its intended purpose. It is finding all of the tools and actually using them for things that were not originally intended. On the picture, and I'll see if I can zoom in just a little bit here. On the picture, you can see each one, and I'll see if I can squeeze myself in here. You can actually see the different springs that were a part of a clock. They were a part of a gear system, and she unwound them, super glued them together, put them onto cardboard, grabbed other gears in order to be able to really use all of the materials, and then put pieces of paper that were cut out of a book to the side. And to me, that is something that I never would have done, never would have had an idea to do. And it's something that she now thinks of as not only possible, but like that's a thing that you can just do. And you can go to a makerspace, you can go to a space that has these materials, and you can make something that no one else has ever made before. And I think that's what a makerspace is for. It's for making things that no one else has ever made. Not for making things that have to be made and remade and sold and have some intrinsic, or I should say extrinsic value where there is someone who's willing to pay for them, but rather that the makerspace is for all of the things that only have intrinsic value, and that is about the process of discovery and thinking about how that process actually benefits the rest of their academic and life career. So that's what I'm thinking about. If you'd like to ask me another question, please use the hashtag AskBenW, and I'd love to talk it through with you. Have a great day.